Hello everyone, welcome to Chess4Unity's third Saturday event. My name is Vincent Tsay, and today I will be commentating on my own games as well as some others. And I'm going to be trying to win first place in this event. So the event's going to start in like 1 minute or a little more than that. But I'm looking forward to the event. So if you want to know more about Chess4Unity and what we do here, make sure to visit Chess4Unity.com. So I see there is some strong competition here. Okay, so far there are 30 players in this open section. Okay. I'm expecting a great match. So the tournament is 4 rounds, and each round is 15 minutes with a 2-second increment. So it's a decently long tournament. Let's see. Okay, so some of the top seeds are myself, HDI Chess, Generous Sidewalk, and Eric Tien Chess. So those are the top 4 seeds. Okay, so let's just wait 30 seconds, and hopefully I can make something happen here. Okay, so 10 seconds left before the game begins. Okay, so the games are beginning now. Okay, so first game I'll be playing green gummies and I'm white. So, okay, let's start with d4. Knight f6, let's play the London system. d5, e3. Okay, so he plays pretty standard response to the London system. And let's see what he does. Okay, so he plays knight bd7, which is not a very common move. So I'm just gonna continue to develop my pieces. Normally, black in these sort of positions places his knight on c6 after playing c5, but I guess this is also a way to play. Okay, so he plays a6, c3. Again, I'm just continuing my London system setup. c5, bishop d3. Okay, let's see. So here, bishop e7 is played, and if I castle, he probably plays knight h5, which I'm not exactly thrilled about, so let's play h3. So we have this square for our bishop on h2. Okay, so castle is expected. Okay, h6 is played, that's fine as also. I'm gonna castle. Some castle. Let's play knight e5. Knight e5 is also a common idea. Let's see. Okay, so he takes, and here, okay, so what should I take back with? Okay, if I play d takes e5, knight d7, and something like e4, looks pretty good. Okay, so yeah, bishop takes e5 also looks fine. Let's just go d takes e5. There's no harm for being more aggressive. Okay, so he has to play knight d7 pretty much. At least that's what I think. Okay, he plays knight h7, which is pretty odd. not gonna lie, but can't say anything's bad unless I refute it, so. Okay, so c4 is also an option, which I like even better, so. Okay, so now since his knight is on h7, not exactly sure what it's doing there, but that's why I'm going to open up the position in the center. Takes, knight takes. Now my knight heads to d6 square, where it's going to cause a lot of trouble for him. Okay, so clearly I have already a slight advantage, to say the least. Okay, so b5, not entirely surprising. Okay, so knight d6 is a move. Bishop e4, I guess, is also a move. Okay, bishop e4, and then queen takes d8. Seems like an interesting option, bishop e4. Okay, but I think I can play that later, so I'm just going to play knight d6. So the d6 pawn would look like it's going to be weak if he takes on d6, but for one, I have e4, e5, which should be able to keep the pawn. And also, it just helps me gain space in general, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay, he takes on d6, he takes d6, as expected. Now, okay, he plays knight f6. And here, I can play e4 if I want to. I also have queen g3, looks interesting. I mean queen f3, sorry. Queen f3, okay, so I also have e4, which looks decent as well. Okay, so I'm actually gonna go with e4. I feel like this could give me good chances to expand the position. So, yeah. He's probably gonna play bishop b7. And then I can play rook e1, I guess. Okay, he plays bishop d7. Bit surprising, I might add, but doesn't look like it's bad. Okay, so I'm gonna try e5. Kicking the knight out of f6. Let's see what he does. And now I created a protected pass pawn on d6, which could be very, very strong. Okay, so now let's say I take on h6, he takes back. No, he always has this queen g5 move to defend, so I have to go bishop d2. Okay, so I would say I'm a little better here because, well, one, the bishop pair, probably the most important advantage of all. Also, I think I have a better pawn structure in general, so. Let's see how he replies. Meanwhile, I think we can check out some other games from the other top boards. Okay, never mind. He played a move, so let's respond. Okay, let's play queen g4, I think. This move, really trying to ask my opponent what he's doing. One, I'm threatening bishop takes h6, which he has to pay attention to. Okay, he plays king h8. Pretty much expected. Let's see what I can do here. So I'm going to play queen h5 just to just to maybe like trouble him a little bit, threatening bishop takes h6 again because the pawn can't take back because of mate in2. So again, not sure, he probably has to move his king back to g8. But there I also might have something, might not, so we'll see. Okay, let's check out some other games. Another board is SYDK versus HDI Chess. Okay, so my opponent moved, as you can clearly see on the bottom, so I'm not gonna even like attempt to reply. Attempt to look at someone else's games right now. Okay, he plays F5, which is a committing move, but also understandable. Okay, so here I have a few options. I think probably e takes f6 is the best. Opening up the position definitely favors my bishop pairs, so. Okay. I'm gonna go queen g6 here, putting a little more pressure on him. It's important to maintain constant pressure because you don't want your opponent to start psychologically having the initiative. Okay, so his knight can't move. I'm expecting bishop e8, which actually is a pretty good move, I think. I didn't actually see that. Or queen e8, and I don't think I would mind trading queens. So that's not worrying me too much. Okay, bishop e8. Yeah, okay, so that's what he played. Okay, I think the only square for my queen is g3. And even if that wasn't the only square, I would probably move it there anyways, just to protect this d6 pawn. So let's go queen g3. Should be pretty straightforward. Okay, he plays c4. Okay, let's just calmly retreat back to c2. And now I kind of just want to play rook e1, rook d1. Okay, so one move that could be annoying is rook a6. Okay, clearly I did not see that, but rook a6 doesn't exactly have a threat because a5 pawn is also hanging. Okay, so he plays b4, which should be no problem. I'm gonna play first just rook e1. Yeah, let's go rook e1. Attacking this e6 pawn, see how he responds. Bishop f7, now let's bring the other rook in the game. It's important that when you're playing a game and your opponent starts advancing pawns, it's important not to panic because I know from experience that psychologically it's difficult to see your opponent gain so much space. So remember not to panic. Each pawn move is just think about it this way. Each pawn move is just creating a new weakness that has not been seen yet. Okay, so he plays knight d5. Okay, putting the knight on that outpost right there. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I have a few options. Bishop c1 right now looks pretty appealing. If he plays rook a6, actually that could be kind of annoying. So okay, so this guy's playing a pretty good game right here. Oh, okay, so let's calculate a little bit. No, okay. I was just... Actually, no. So I was looking at this move, bishop takes h6, g takes h6, and rook takes d5, e takes d5, queen e5, king g8, queen f5. And that actually looks winning from here. Unless I'm missing something really bad. Okay, so let's recalculate that. Bishop takes h6. He has to take in order to try to even punish me. I play rook takes d5. He has to take back. Queen e5, check. He must play king g8. Queen f5. And now, how is he going to defend the h7 square? Okay, no bishop move is good. If rook e8, queen h7, king f8, and then I have queen takes h6, followed by bishop h7, that's winning. So that looks actually pretty good. So hopefully I'm not miscalculating something. So I'm just going to go for it. Bishop takes h6. If I'm miscalculating something, that's going to be really bad. It's going to end in a disaster. But for now, let's just trust my calculation instincts. Okay, he takes, expectedly, rook takes d5. Now, I'm pretty sure he has to take back. Okay, I go queen e5 check. He's forced to play king g8. That's his only move. And now queen f5. So now I build up this diagonal here, which I don't see any way how he can defend it. I better not be hallucinating right now. And if he plays rook e8, queen h7, king f8, queen takes h6, king g8, bishop h7, and then we have this standard bishop g6, queen h7, queen takes f7 mate. You'll see what I'm talking about because he probably is going to play rook e8. That's his only move. Not to get mated instantly, so. Okay, he plays rook e8, so my idea is queen h7 check. So he must play king f8. Now I'm going to take his pawn with check. He has to move back. And now I play bishop h7 check. He has to move to king h8. And now I play bishop g6. Bishop g6 check. He has to move king g8. Now I go queen h7 check. He has to move king f8. Okay, or he resigned in this case. But after king f8, queen takes f7 would be checkmate. So yeah, so that was a really good game. Interesting attacking chance for me, and I was able to utilize this combination. Not particularly difficult, but still pretty long variation, and get the W. So let's look at some other games. Okay, so here we have HDI Chess versus SYDK. So Okay, so the position, I think this is a Scotch defense. Looks like it to me. Yeah, so I see the moves on top. And let's go from the beginning. So in this game, it's Scotch defense with d6. Okay, so this happened. Both sides castle to safety. Seems like pretty normal moves. Bishop f6, queen h5, queen e7, rook e1, rook b8, bishop d3, protecting the pawn on b2, knight b6, rook d1, bishop e6, e5. Okay, so that was the position where we looked at, and here black took on e5, obviously. And white probably plays bishop takes e5 back. Position is relatively quiet. It just looks pretty equal to me. One side is going to have to make a pretty big mistake to lose. So okay, so all this happened. Oh, okay, so things quickly changed. And he played, okay, so he gets 2 rooks for a queen. Yeah, so here black decided to take on e1, which I would probably do as well. You can also take on f6 if you didn't want to go into that ending, but okay, so this is obviously a word trade. And now black takes on c2. So here we have 2 rooks versus a queen sort of position, where in this case black also has a pawn as well. So one thing that we have to pay attention to is white has opposite color bishops. So he has the dark square bishop and black has a light square bishop, which in this case actually I think favors white, because he might have some dark square counterplay on the king side. But clearly the position is still not so clear and must be played out by both sides. So I think we can take a look at another game, maybe come back to the first game. Okay, so let's take a look at generous side walk versus J Huang 3. So here, let's evaluate this position. Let's look at the opening first, though. So it looks like this was a Sicilian knight c6. Sort of a dragon type position. Probably transposes into a dragon, but okay. This is all looks pretty standard. Bishop h6, takes. Okay, so here, this position actually, white didn't really try to play for any advantage, it looks like, because black already has comfortable equality in this position. Really, in my opinion, the only way to play for an advantage in dragon is to castle opposite sides. But here, it's just pretty equal. Even white probably is a little bit. I mean, I would prefer black here, just in general. Oh, okay, so he loses. Okay, so white blunders a pawn. Okay, so not sure why exactly black did that and then went back, but okay, so white is trying to get some counterplay while black is just sitting there with the pawn up. So queen takes d6 is most likely. Whoa, okay, so he plays that. Huh. Oh wait, queen takes d6, rook takes e1, probably. No, I think that works. But here it's just rook takes e4, bishop takes e4, and I'm pretty sure black is just up 2 pawns with nothing, no counterplay at all. King is pretty safe, looks like. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so black plays bishop takes e4. So if black manages to win this game, it would be a pretty big upset, I would say, on the standings. But he does have only 2 minutes and 20 seconds left, so he has to be careful. Okay, f5 was played. I like f5. Securing the bishop on e4, which can be not only a defensive piece, but also an attacking piece. Okay, so let's go back to HDI chess versus SYDK. See what transpired. Okay, so black is obviously winning here for some reason. Okay, we stopped at bishop takes c2. Let's see what happened. Bishop e5 was played, which I don't really get. Bishop d4 seemed much better to me. Oh, but this just loses a piece after f6. So white made a... Okay, so this was just a blunder by black. And this type of position, black is basically up a piece for 2 pawns. He still needs to convert this technically, but it should be winning pretty easily, actually. Just pile up on 1 pawn, double rooks on the d5 second rank, and that should be pretty simple, since the queen alone cannot do anything. And this bishop should protect the king for at least keep it relatively safe. Okay, so black is winning here, but there's still some technical issues. So let's go back to the other game. Okay, so white plays knight d2. Pretty tired of this bishop on e4, causing trouble. And here, black has many options. I think queen... Okay, so definitely not queen takes b2, I think. Actually, queen takes b2... Yeah, definitely not queen takes b2. If queen takes b2, knight takes e4 takes queen f6. And already, like, things just got pretty wild here, because black can play king g8, queen d8 is check. So something like... Let's see. I think rook e7 should be fine, something like that. Bishop d5 should also be fine. Moving the bishop to e6, which is probably even a better idea than what I just mentioned. Yeah. Okay, bishop c6, fine also, pretty good, I would say. So he's taking advantage of the fact that queen takes d6 falls to bishop takes g2. So things cleared out a little bit, and seems like now officially black has the advantage. He plays rook e7, something like that, queen e3, completely winning. Okay, let's see if we can take a look at one more game. Okay, he plays d5 here. Now white can play c5, right? Yeah. Wow. Oh no. What is happening here? Queen takes c5, queen takes c7. Okay, so that's a huge blunder. So even here after c5, black can survive with queen b4. And the position is obviously, this is definitely not what black wanted, but this is just losing. Queen e5, trade off the queens, and the upset turned into not an upset anymore. So great fighting spirit from white, and he'll get the W pretty easily here. Not expecting another turnaround. Okay, so that game, oh, probably because of time trouble. Okay, so here we have SYDK with only 2 minutes and 40 seconds left, and HDI chess with 1 minute and 30 seconds. 6 seconds left. Okay, so white is doing the right thing, I believe, trying to trade off as many pawns as possible. H4 is a good move, I think. At least as good as you can play in this position. White is just trying to cause some practical problems, especially in a pretty fast, rapid game. Okay, so HDI Chess only has, you guys can't see the time, but he has 1 minute left. So this could be pretty tough. Okay, so black plays bishop d3, and white probably is going to play something like h5, causing some, again, just trying to, oh, actually h5 is probably bad because of rook d5, but, yeah, so what can you play here? Okay, queen e3, I guess also trying to annoy black with checks on e8. So again, if this was like a real game, black would probably have no problem converting this. It takes a while, but here, with only 20 seconds left now, I wouldn't be surprised if the game just ends in some sort of perpetual check. Okay. Let's see what's happening here. So it doesn't seem like my connection is that great. Okay, he plays bishop g6. Okay, so I do see that he plays bishop g6, but now let's say white plays something like, okay, b5 takes, there, queen g5 could be pretty annoying. Okay, so my connection is back, and black is down to seconds. h5, king h8, and now something like h5, yeah, could be pretty annoying. Or queen e5 check. Okay, h5 was played. Bishop f7. H6 was played. Probably not the best. Okay, so white actually manages to, after king g8, prevent all the checks. So, wow, great defense there. I mean, I wouldn't say defense, but great play there by black. Okay, so black builds up and is going to win the h6 pawn easily. And now the rest should be simple. Again, there's always problems when you're playing against the queen. This queen is just that powerful, but at least now black can't lose. Okay, bishop c6, f4, okay, that's probably desperation here. Usually you don't do something like that, but yeah, can't say anything's bad. Oh, whoa, what's going on here? King e2, d2, king e3. Oh no. Black is taking perpetual check because he has 0 time. Okay, this 3-move repetition. Wow. Okay. That's a pretty dramatic ending to a pretty dramatic game. So, yeah, obviously, Black couldn't find anything in time trouble, which is understandable when you're in time trouble. Pressure's on. You're not exactly sure what to do, so I think both sides tried their best here. Let's see if there's any more games left. Okay, so there's one more game left before we start the next round. And let's try to open the game. So this game is between Ashley Tian Chess and Eric Tian Chess. So looks like they're siblings. They're also both from the same place. Okay, so Black is completely winning here. When you have these type of positions, whoever has the more advanced pawns win. So this should be pretty easy here. Rook A2, A6, well, G2, and G1 queen, checkmate. So that was a pretty entertaining round, I would say. Okay, so I think the next round starts any second, and it does. So here, I'm playing. Okay, let's check the standings first before we continue playing this game. So the standings, I think I'm still. Okay, so someone already won the second round. So I would say I was technically still first. So but now let's edit this round because it's round 2. And points, I have 1 point right now. Okay, so this game will be a French defense. White has many ways of playing against the French defense, including knight c3, which is the classical variation. Here, I'm going to play the winnower French. One of the most dynamic options. c5, 3, bishop a5, Vaganian variation. Normally, people take on c3. But especially for a quick game, that's too much complications. Can get really, really messy. So prefer a relatively more positional style with bishop a5. When I say relative, it means that it's not positional, but compared to bishop takes c3, it's pretty safe to say that it's more quiet. Okay, so I don't want to look at any other games until I've gotten hold of what's going on in this game. So basically, I'm just gonna start with the opening again. So here, White really has a lot of options against the French defense. He can play e5, which is the advanced variation. He can play knight d2, which is called the Tarrasch variation. He can play the exchange variation, where he takes on d5. And he has other different sidelines, like bishop d3, different moves. Okay, so my opponent plays b4, which I will respond by taking on d4. Since if he takes my bishop on a5, I can take his knight on c3. So it's kind of the idea here. And here, White has really 2 main lines here. He can play knight b5, which is probably one of the more popular move, or he can play queen g4, which is also pretty popular. Both lead to very different games. Okay, so he plays Yeah, he plays queen takes d4. Not very common, but can't say it's terrible. Okay, so bishop c7, I'll play that. Retreating my bishop. Problem with queen takes d4 is that sometimes now it runs into moves like knight c6, which could be pretty annoying because I develop with tempo. But normally white can't really be worse in this type of position. So my opponent's thinking, which usually means that he doesn't really know this line very well, which usually means that it's a good sign for me. You never know, he could be playing mind tricks. See, so I expect him to play f4. Okay, so let's look at some other games here. So Generous Sidewalk is second place. And he's black against illogical. Illogical. Probably, that's how you pronounce it. So the position is a little more comfortable for white, I would say. But nothing special. And this would be pretty hard to win, though, unless both sides get into time trouble, which white actually has more time. Okay, so let's go from the beginning of this game to see what transpired. d4, d5, c4, e6, knight c3, c5. So this usually means huge simplifications. And I'm not sure why they're going all symmetrical. There are many good lines against what white is playing without being entirely symmetrical. Okay, so finally he breaks the symmetry. But here... Whoa. Oh, okay. So here, blacks missed an opportunity to win instantly with bishop takes h2 and queen takes d4. So that's a huge miss. He could have won in like one move. Instead, he played e5. Probably played too quickly. And now this is just the equal position. Okay, so back to my game. My opponent moved. Played knight there. Knight c6, knight b5. I'm going to play knight c6, attacking the queen. And now I'm attacking the e5 pawn as well. So that could be quite annoying for white. Not sure what his plan exactly was to do. Okay, so he takes my bishop. Oh, he might have bishop b5. Could save him a little bit. But still. Okay, I'm going to go knight g7. I'm not going to win a pawn anymore, but I get a castle pretty quickly, and bishop on b5 is not great. So okay, he plays f4, which is not exactly surprising. Let's say I play a6, he has to go bishop takes c6, and I can go anything takes c6, probably queen takes c6, put more pressure on his c2 pawn, possibly. Or I can play b takes c6. Or knight takes c6, obviously. But regardless, I think a6 is probably the best way to go. If it's not, then too bad for me. Okay, I can play knight takes c6 and hope he falls into some mini trap with queen d2, knight takes e5 or something. It's kind of easy to fall into that trap, so I'm trying to debate here with my own self. Now let's give him more respect. Queen takes c6. Now my idea is just to play bishop d7, rook c8, and go on from there. Right now I'm pressuring the c2 pawn, which he has to make a decision about. I'm not going to really rush into castling. Just trying to get my light square bishop in the game right now. So that's usually the main problem with the French defense. Light square bishop, pretty weak, so maybe the best idea was also to play b takes c6 and a5 bishop a6, getting the light square bishop out of the game. But I didn't play that, so okay, so let's go back to the game generous sidewalk versus illogical. And here again, white has a little more comfortable position. And he's also significantly up on time. So unless there's some miracle like last time, doesn't seem to be looking great for a generous sidewalk. So queen d3 was played by my opponent, which is expected. I played bishop d7. Rook c8 is, I can literally pre-move rook c8. Okay, actually, he can put his knight on d4, which somehow, some way I missed. And that can be actually really annoying if I want to try to make something happen. Shouldn't be that big of a deal though, right? Shouldn't. Yeah, shouldn't be that big of a deal. Many responses to that. I can go queen c4, I can go maybe queen c7. Okay, so he does play this move. And if I go queen c4, yeah, that's what I'm going to do right now, queen c4. If he takes, rook takes, followed by bishop a4. I accomplish my goal of getting my light square bishop out of the game. And it should be pretty equal in that position. So again, if you're black, equality is what you should hope for, and if your opponent doesn't play as well as you after that, then you can have hopes of winning. But out of the opening, equality should be satisfaction. So let's look at Alogical versus Generous Sidewalk again. So like we saw last round, HDI Chess was the second seed, but he drew a really complicated game against someone. So he doesn't have 1 point. So now Generous Sidewalk is kind of my largest competition, I would say. But again, in these tournaments, anything can happen. Any tournament, anything can happen. So I don't want to get too caught up with this kind of stuff. Okay, so in this position, again, white is slightly more comfortable, nothing really special. Black should probably hold a draw. I mean, unless obviously something drastic happens, but not usually expected. So, okay, so the third board is, let's look at the third board. Eric Tian Chess versus S370998. So I'm guessing, okay, let's go back to my game because my opponent moved. Okay, so he played castle, which was expected, and now I play bishop a4. So that's a common idea in this French kind of position, where I bring my bishop to a4, putting pressure on c2, and my opponent has to be one to respond with something greater. Put it that way. And this should be equality already. I don't expect it to be anything more, but equality should definitely be guaranteed in this position. I predict he's going to play rook f2, which is probably the best move. Okay, he does. And let's see what can happen here. So, few options to proceed. One, I can take on d3, play g6. And honestly, can't be worse there. It really can't be worse there. Slowly take up the c file, try to make something happen there. So that's one option. Second option, castle. Just simply castle. Okay, I like the first option better. Again, it's important to realize that when you're black, you unless like tournament situation calls, you shouldn't come into the game looking saying, oh, I'm gonna win. Coming into the game saying, I'm gonna play my best, yeah, sure. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. So I will play king d7 or g6. Which one's better? King d7. Okay, so the only drawback of king d7 is if he can play f5, which I doubt he can. But again, play g6 anyways. Can't really hurt. I think he's going to play bishop e3 or bishop b2. Bishop b2 is pretty tempting. But bishop e3 is probably actually maybe better. We'll see what he does. Okay, so let's look at Eric Tian Chess and S370998. So I didn't really get a good chance of looking at this game, but it seems like a queen was plundered. Oh, okay. So queen g4 was a huge mistake, and bishop takes g5, h6 was obviously even bigger mistake. It's now queen g5. Okay, so this game is over. So there's really nothing to look at, and Eric Tian Chess will win this game. If he doesn't, it's going to take a huge miracle. Okay, so my opponent plays bishop b2 like we expected. I'm going to play king d7 like I said I would. Again, like normally you would castle, but in this case, why castle when there's no queens on the board and your king is not in danger? So that situation, placing the king in the center where it's closer to action could be more helpful. Okay, so this knight on d4 is good, but I'm not that afraid of it because I can always kick it out with knight f5 and such moves like that. So my next idea is just to double on the c-file, followed by kicking his knight out with knight f5. So kind of thinking schematically, seeing what's going on. Okay, so he doesn't want me to double. I get it. I really do. But that hurts, you know? Okay. Not gonna get too carried away. Let's go rook c8. Control the c-file again. It's clear that already I cannot be worse. So in this case, you can maybe start looking at ways that you can try to win. But again, just move by move. It's the key. Okay, I'm gonna play h5. The thing, his bishop is terrible because all his pawns are on dark squares. Well, most of his pawns are on dark squares. Mine is also horrible, but in this case, mine is actually out of the pawn chain. Like, for example, if his bishop was on c5, it wouldn't be as bad as on b2. But let's see, okay. And his bishop is pretty much controlled by my rooks, so. Okay, I have pretty big decisions to make to see how I can improve my position here. I think personally knight f5, knight takes f5, g takes f5 is a good idea. He can't really get to my h5 pawn. Yeah, I think that's gonna maybe promise me the most dynamic chances to win. So already I'm kind of thinking a little bit ahead. Maybe I can play h4 at some point. Plays there, which is understandable. Okay, so here again, it's difficult because, okay, so I'm gonna go, actually no, it's not difficult. Bishop c2 is a great move. Bishop c2 attacking this d3 pawn, and if he moves it, then I get my bishop to e4, which is like literally a dream place to get my bishop to. And I probably have great chances there. And if he plays rook d2, bishop takes d3. And rook takes d3, rook c2 wins back this pawn on b2. And that should be much better, if not winning. So, again, great chances here. So it's important to spot these opportunities, and you have to pounce on them. If you let it slip away, then bad things can really happen. Okay, rook c2 is played. King h3, take the pawn. Okay, so now it's pretty much the final chapter of this game, of every game, the endgame. And okay, rook d2, let me try rook d2. My idea is to just play d4, I think. Or rook d4 looks even better here in this scenario. Yeah, but he's actually doing a pretty decent... Okay, actually rook b2 probably wins a pawn. But he's actually doing a good job trying to prevent me from getting my king into the game. Because again, I want a pawn, but if he gets his king to h4 and g5 and f6, then it could cause some problems for me. So yeah, so b5 is probably the best, actually. Takes, takes. He's going to maybe sacrifice a pawn. And okay, I think I should be quicker than him. Okay, so he goes there, which is expected. Now I'm going to push my b pawn. Okay, so I'm going to attack this pawn first. He has to play h3. He can't afford to lose that pawn at all. And here maybe I can even play rook h2. Okay, so let's calculate a little bit. Takes on h5, b4, followed by b3. Yeah, I should be well in time. Should not even be close. Okay, so there. Okay, I better not screw this up. Okay, so that is probably the best move. Okay, so let's say I played there, king g5, rook b1, b2, b3, okay. Okay, this is getting more complicated than I wished, but let's not do complaining so early. Again. Oh, okay, so that I think is... I'm not sure how to make of that move. Sure, it's not bad, but I'm not sure I like that move a lot for him. Okay, so he's in time trouble, so okay, I'm gonna take here. Oh shoot, okay, so this is gonna be a little bit of a race. Rook f2, king c5, king c4, b3. Hopefully I won't lose this race, because that would just be sad, really sad. Oh shoot, what's going on here? Okay, so d4, let's say king takes f7, takes there. Yeah, no, I don't like that. Let's take here first. Yeah, let's take on f5. He's gonna take back. I'm gonna push b2. He's gonna probably play something like king takes f7, rook takes f5. Okay, I'm gonna play rook f2. And now I'm gonna push. Should be winning here. Okay, I'm gonna go. Okay, I'm gonna go d3. e7, rook e2. Okay, my opponent resigns here, or loses on time. Yeah, loses on time. But here I'm winning anyways because the idea is I can sacrifice my rook for this pawn. And since I have two pawns over here, then one is going to cost him a rook, and the other one can just promote to a queen, basically. And that should be easily winning. So 2-0 so far, good start. 2 points, and I should still be. Okay, so let's look at. Okay, so a logical beat generous sidewalk. Wow. Okay, so that's an upset right there. And most likely, I believe I'm gonna play illogical next round, but if not, that's fine as well. So there are a few more games left. Let's check it out. So there's Cool Bull versus Jamie as 98. Oh, it's probably gonna be a perpetual check. Yeah. Rook g2, rook g2, rook g1. Yeah, nobody can prevent that. If white pushes too hard, he's gonna lose. If black pushes too hard, he's gonna get mated. So it's gonna be a draw. Okay. Okay, so let's just wait until this draws. Game ends in a draw. Okay, so this game ends in a draw. So let's look at another game. Chess Kid 2011 versus Aware Piece. Okay, so this black is winning here because of his advanced pass pawn, but again, there are still some technical issues here. You can't allow any perpetual check, so gotta be a little bit careful here. Okay, so he is, yeah, I think, oh no, what did he do? What did he do? What did he do? No. It's a draw now. Oh wait, he has a discovered check. That's a nice idea. Okay, so Queen A1 is just winning. Queen A1 is checkmate. So yeah, I mean black didn't have to give up the A2 pawn, but he won anyway. So what can I say? Good game. Oh, okay. Next round started, which means all the games ended, and I am playing Daniel Best 7. So good luck to you, and let's get started. Hopefully this is going to be a good game. Okay, so it's officially round 3, so I can edit the round number. So if you guys are just joining us, this is Chess4Unity's third annual Third Saturday event. Happens on each third Saturday of each month. If you want to know more about Chess4Unity and our events, be sure to visit chess4unity.com. So again, I'm going to go with my London system since it promised me good results in the first round. So we put c5. Okay, queen b6. Here, let's go knight c3. Okay, he goes e6. And I've seen many ways to continue here. A3 is an option, which I'm going to play. The idea is if queen takes b2 now, then, well, first knight b5 probably also works, but knight a4 traps the queen. So that's the idea of a3. And it's just, in general, a more useful move, just controlling this b4 square. Can't hurt, at least. Okay, so d5 was played by my opponent. I'm probably going to play bishop e2, knight f3 actually, I like better. Now I just want to play bishop e2 and castle. Well, actually, I'm actually 5th place. Damn it, I'm 5th place. Oh, because my tie breaks are pretty low, so. Okay, so he plays bishop e7, I'm going to castle. Let's not worry about places right now. Let's play one game at a time. And now he should take on d4. And a6 is a bad move because, well, here I have knight a4. And I win the bishop pair. Obviously, it's not awful. It's not the end of the world, but it is the beginning of a new world for me. For sure, I'm going to take here. Takes. C4. Okay, so clearly the opening is a success. I am slightly better because he gave up the bishop pair. And now I will just play chess. Rook c1. Again, these positions are the easiest to play ever. Queen a7. Again, he doesn't have that many squares for his queen, so can't blame him for moving it to a7. Not a great square, but okay. I'm going to play b4. As long as I don't give up my bishop pair, I should be a little bit better. That's how good the bishop pair is.